Hi everyone, and welcome to this live stream. And with me we have Richie. Big love to this brother, and he's going to talk to you about some of his experience of working with me and our coaching relationship, and some of the insights that he's had from my questioning and his experience of what it's been like to be on the other side of the coaching fence. So, Richie,
Hey, brother.
let's turn it up.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me.
You're welcome. So, first question, bro, I guess.
Yeah.
Ah, like when we first started talking, um, I wanted to reach out to you as a business coach,
Mm,
and in that relationship, it's flourished and nurtured and grown various mycelium and roots
yeah.
and trees and branches and fruit. And in that fruit has been your relationship journey and coming to me for questions and counseling. And what's been your experience of that?
Mm. Well, I mean, yeah, now we're building a forest, a wealth forest. We got a tree. Now we're going for the next ones. So, I mean, when we connected, we sort of checked each other out and had a good chat. You came on board like an absolute dream rock star client. And you have been one ever since, and you've become a friend, you've become a trusted confidant, kind of, king's counsel. You're in my inner circle of trust. Just the way that you will, you came to me, you asked me for some help, and we took a chance. And you did everything that I suggested based on the things we pulled out from the sessions with you. And just I loved the level of commitment and integrity. I haven't met too many people with such high standards to truth and just the inner work, and with such a broad knowledge. So many life experiences and skills for the personal development world, spiritual aspects. It was very refreshing to meet another person with such deep uh, masterful integration and embodiment in the real world as well as the woo.
Mm.
So yeah, it was like it's been the mission to find more Johns to work with ever since then. So my experience moving from there is seeing, like I was going through, pretty prickly, we'll call it prickly, that's a light way to put it, a relationship journey last year, exiting like I was moving out of a pretty rough relationship, and I think one of the coolest things was probably the thing you mentioned before that we did. It was I taught you that sales process, and I love how we vibe and bounce off each other. How it's dating and or relationships and sales, because I'm a mindset guy. I'm a energy healer, but like when anyone asks, I go, "What do you do?" I just go, "I'm in sales." It's just like that. And so I remember when we had that with you, I was like, "Well, you're still just a relationship coach. Just put the hat on." So we got like sales, relationships, and it's just like it's time to fill your pipeline. It's time to get into it. So showed you that system of reaching out, pre-qualifying, and how to do a reverse close where you're not pushing people to sign up. They're just coming to you. It's automated, and it was very flowy, and bit of a secret sauce that I've got, and you just took it on board, and you ran that challenge or a free giveaway or something. So I just threw a number in just to, you offered a free session, and I had this feeling I got the session somehow, and I was like, shit, okay, I gotta be, there was a big humbling where you came to me and like, hey, Rich, I need a hand with this, and then I started going, well, I like to be in integrity as well with all that. And so I was like, yeah, let's do this session. And I told you the truth about, my current at that time relationship. And what you did is, for anyone watching this, I just loved this. He took me through my own sales process of the strategy of the reverse close. And you just got the same system of where I was at, where I wanted to be, well, really who I was with and who I wanted to be with and who I had to be. And I remember that session clear as day. I was like, John, here's the truth. This shit's fucked. This is what's going on. I'm pretty much, a foot and a knee out. There's a toe left, but this is a big one, man. It's scary. And your ability to hold me through that, but also show me visually using my own words and systems. And the thing that was clear as day when you showed it to me, and then you said, Rich, the person you're with is not the person you want to be with. And it landed how deeply I was like, I can't change a person. That's wrong. I can't love them for who they are right now. Then, and that was pretty strong. And, being a client of mine at the time, it was like, shit, well, there's really no option here but to just lead with love and call it, And yeah, you really called me into my own truth and into deeper integrity and deeper love for myself, deeper trust for myself. And that was so hard, but also I felt so supported and seen and safe, and like, it's okay, you can do this. It's not what you want. You're out of alignment here. And to have somebody, even as like I'm the coach, I mean, it's not like an above or below thing. It's like, you've got this thing, I've got this thing, and together we're a team and we're all heading in the same direction. So, to have somebody like that on your team, it's worth dropping absolutely every bit of ego and letting that person in. That's why, I trust you so much.
Thanks, Richie. And I love you spoke to ego at the end there, and like letting go of the ego and dropping that ego. And what is it that you see, maybe for yourself or for others or your work as well, where people just come up against that ego barrier, right? And so what made you so different in that whole process to be able to go, you know what, like this I need help. I need some counsel. I need someone else to, and I'm going to lean into this.
Well, just got bigger then, the screens. That's better. That's a really good question. I mean, I've been chipping away at the emotional conditioning and wounds that were keeping me feeling trapped and doing all this stuff that wasn't actually really aligned. So for me, it was my own personal commitment to my inner journey and like loving myself, looking after myself, wanting to be the best leader I can be, an example of going for what I want, really, like my business True Target Coaching. It's like getting off other people's goal plans and going for what I wanted. And I could just tell that it was exhausting doing it the other way, like the brand we've created together, like what you've come up with. It was like, I was like, bro, you're like, Richie, is this exhausting? And he's using all the words that he's using all my shit back on me. And it's speaking directly to what I know to be true already. And I guess it's just like, an emotional wound. It's like we do a process, we go through a thing, it's like the grip, and then eventually you just have that final conversation and you're like, and it's just, it all drops and you're like, it's done. I'm free. And I want, my ex to be free and happy, and that's the best thing for my children, our kids and the mission and the community and the globe. And it's sometimes like the hardest thing is the easiest thing, the best way forwards, which is a thing like my new partner said to me, which is another thing we're going to talk about, which is a pretty cool thing that happened.
Yeah, so where are you at now? Like, so I hear you had a bit of a twine ball of a relationship previously, like just lots of overlapping stuff going on, like trauma bonding, whatever was there.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, where are you at right now? What transformed for you?
Well, I really worked out what I didn't want.
Yeah.
And like got some really good feedback and insight and better boundaries, and clarity on what I do want. And, we wrote it down, did the love spell, wrote it down, what I want. And I started moving towards more of being the person that would be with that person. And like, that saying, like, become that. And so now, like, literally, I don't know, we did that process, that session. And I went away for a little bit, a couple months, maybe a month or two, and redid that, looked at it again, ended up meeting like, kind of like my partner of my dreams. It's funny to say, almost like that when I decided I'm ready for the next relationship. And I wasn't really looking for like I didn't think I'd get it all. Someone someone I can truly have fun with, someone I can tell the truth to, someone that, really is just equally as committed to their own self-responsibility and self-love, super hot, super fun, just as crazy and wild as me, but also as loving. I'm kind of just every day surprised, in a good way. And it even like reflects back to me now, like where my shit is to do the work rather than being the guy like, hey, fix this. It's like, all right, like we're both deeply committed. It's overwhelming and overjoying, I guess, and sometimes feels like almost too much love. Like it's absolutely cracking the heart open and healing shit. This new relationship. And, things that would have been non-negotiable in the past are even negotiable because there's the ability to communicate and talk now. So I've been having a wild fucking time,
Thank you. So what I hear in your previous relationship experience was either one of you was doing the work or there was just no space for conversation, and it would turn into like a lot of push-pull and like threats and insecurity and anxiety and avoidance. And the one you're in now is like it's a crucible of growth where it's like, no, there's a vision that's available here, and we're just calling each other forward into so loving who they are right now and also see the potential, and then always just coming back to the self. Was that more?
Yeah, and like a shared vision, both wanting the same things and actually seeing like behavior that moves towards that, even if there are things that are uncomfortable. Like this has not been easy, like for me personally, like this new thing, this new relationship, it's required a lot of looking at myself and holding point, a lot of stuff around self-trust, being a man and masculinity, being all the same things really. But whenever anything's getting hard, it's like there's the ability to just be like, hey honey, like I'm experiencing this thing and I'd love to talk to you about it when you're available for that. And that hasn't been a perfect sign, that I'm still, working on that, most of the times. I'd say like 7 out of 10, which is pretty, I think that, you tell me, you're the relationship.
Dude,
I mean, like 7 out of 10.
Dude, that's great. Like in all seriousness, bro, like when you start doing it with someone that can finally receive you, it's like, oh my God, I can actually keep stepping back into this space, and game changer. And it's the more you do it, the better you get at it. And then it becomes anything like a gym or doing sales process, whatever it is, the more you keep doing the thing, the better you get at it. So yeah, man, I think you're doing an amazing job at what you're doing. So.
Well, I got the right people around me. Like I've got you, I've got my mentor as well. I've got a few really close brothers. And I mean, I think a big thing outside of like having the right people, especially your ability, is to be able to see the whole thing and not polarize, where you understand polarity, but you're able to move to that place of neutrality. And rather than push you still have a strong masculine pole, right? And at the same time, like, yeah, you do. There's this perspective that you have and the space that you can hold where even most people that have done decades of work can just be like, I mean, you have too. How do I say this? It's like you can be like, well, maybe that is real. Maybe that is really love. And, maybe that is the thing to trust and focus on. Maybe that is the thing to go for. Like, yeah, sure, this is happening here, this is happening there. That probably isn't okay. This is, things like that. Being able to really, you can get a group of guys together and, if something gets triggered and they'll be like, yeah, that's crap, and that doesn't really help a person.
Yeah.
You know, that I don't know what that is. Do you that thing that
Yeah,
happens? Mm.
yeah, I do. Like when someone speaks to an injury or something that's going on in their relationship, like, and the typical response is, like, "I just divorce her, just dump her, dump the bitch, no, fuck her," whatever it is. Like, no, there's something in this. What else is going on? Um, what I call, I remove the morality from the situation. So I'm like, okay, cool, all right, let's just discharge it. Neutrality, cool.
Mm.
Let's look at it objectively, and then talk to the feelings separately, right? Is this the vision? What's the theme? What are the patterns? So I the anomalies, okay, they happen, but
Mm.
it's the patterns where all the juice is. So in relationship patterns, it's like, okay, cool. Where's the cyclical patterns here? Is this same thing happening over again? Is this individual repeatedly, do you repeatedly feel like she's lying to you? Or do you repeatedly feel like this? Or do you repeatedly feel this? And then okay, cool, yeah, this is most likely something that's a pattern that's played out in my entire life with other relationships. And you go, that's you. Let's talk about it. What else is there? Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
Yes, and then all that, Richie. Thank you. That's what I call it. Um, what I see for a lot of men and women is they don't believe that they deserve more or they can have more.
Yeah.
So, what's been your journey through, like, fuck, I'm allowed this? I
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can have
Yeah.
this?
Okay. So I love that. We got polarity, neutrality, morality. I guess what's really been great is moving away from war and deciding I deserve peace, which was the building block and upfrontness, openness, transparency, and safety. And so when I met my new partner, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air where we actually were like, yeah, we met at a party. We actually known each other quite a few years, on and off as just friends, really connections in the community. And turns out because I'd said no to a bunch of stuff like weapons of mass destruction in relationships or a war zone of a all or nothing relationship where there's like threatening the relationship, which just triggers deep abandonment and rejection for people, for me and her back then, the ex, and name calling or tones or threats or like things that lead down the abuse line, all of that stuff. Well, it could just be withholding love, keeping lists and scores of things that happened in the past and then bringing that to the problem, and like all of these things, like there's a list of things, losing sight of the vision or not seeing behavior that's committed towards that and not being able to communicate. So by saying no to all of that, then creating some space, doing a lot of work and exercise internally as well as that, and then going, clearly this is what I want. I want someone who's, peaceful, honest, does what they say they'll do, all these things. And then, yeah, I think it really starts with getting clear on what you don't want, where you're at, and what I didn't want, and where I was at, and bringing it back to myself, going, well, this is just a reflection of me, this old relationship, and that's on me, taking responsibility for that, and going, so what do I want? Which is, I want more, which is also my brand as well, and which is why I must do this, which is why I, to answer that question ages ago, because I have to, there's no other option, and this is exhausting, and looking for this, even though it feels difficult, like going to a party or, getting in shape or like, building a whole new business from the ground up after the separation, like all of this stuff. Going, it feels like I'm tired, but it's actually just the wounds healing of more getting myself back. It feels like I'm losing myself. No, I'm getting myself back. That's been there. And then the fun of connecting with someone who matches my energy and who, when you give them a sniff, you're like, I love the way you smell. Like, I just, even the shit that annoys me about the last person, like, you could do that and I probably wouldn't care, like, we'd just laugh at it. It's like, there's all bets are off. It's like giving this new energy and then going like, wow, I've been playing the game wrong, and I found someone who wants to play the game with me, and that feeling of receiving so much has brought me to my knees you know, emotionally and literally. Like, fuck, I've deserved so much more than what I've given myself. And that's the thing we say to each other. Like, we agree, we have agreements instead of these rules and things. It's like we agree that, like, you know, we deserve the best. You know, that dramas really, you know, if there's a certain point of conflict that can be, you know, like of awkwardness before it's like, no, we don't go past this line. We don't, you know, peace is non-negotiable. You know, things like that. Keeping lists, we don't do that. That's not who we are, because it's not going to help us get to where, you know, be who we want to be, all these things. And I guess, John, it's just refreshing. It's honestly, it's really scary to feel like that's safe. That's the thing for anyone watching, is going, and you've really helped me like trust myself with this, that going like, maybe nothing's wrong. You know, we get it. I got everything I wanted, and this is what happens with clients. You see, we get everything we want, and then it's like, well, our wound. This is what, you know, the saying of, Rich, if you get everything you want, will you be able to hold the space for it?
Yeah.
Or will you smother it, squash it, or will you rinse fuck it up and push it away? And I've seen myself in this at each and every stage, going, receiving all this love and thinking, maybe it's not, no, something's wrong here. And then going, being humbled, going, wow, she really loves me. I must really love me. The universe loves me. Like I'm just got to see this through a bit more, and let go of what I thought was happening, you know, childhood stuff, conditioning, all of that crap, and going, and then the bubble pops, and then a whole new bubble starts of love starts going, it's even bigger. And it's like, fuck, I'm starting to think, how big can this get? You know, like, how much love, you know, how much is really available? And if I'm opening for that, like with love, then I'm seeing more opportunity, money, things like that, health come through. And it's expansive. I can't really even, it's ineffable, you know, I couldn't really, it's everything I want, you know. And yeah, man, I don't know.
You do know. You do know.
Yeah.
And I recommended to you the other day to do some body work. Like, go get some jaw work. And how did that pan out for you?
Yeah, really good. Because it's actually maybe like a 3 out of 10 now. And so, like, because my partner just gone and done a 2-week massage training, you know, she's fully qualified now. She already was great. I went and actually paid to get one before she got back, so she didn't have to just, you know, so I gave it to myself first, and then I got another one, and I'm finding, like, I got like a Polynesian floor massage last night as well, and I just, you know, pulled my arms and like just felt all this shit coming out of my heart and like tears, and it's like, it's unreal. Like, the thing that's in my jaw, like repressed, maybe it's depression, you know, maybe there's something going on in there physically, but all of this, I know, like, at least 50% of it's emotional, you know, or energetic, and being able to have some really, you know, tough conversations up front about building a bigger commitment, I think was the thing. And getting that out, like, I remember you told me to put my finger in here, and also like, get like noise, you know, as a healing practice. I completely found the blind spot. I was like, oh, of course, the noise, like.
Yeah, the noise. The noise is a big one. In the work of body psychotherapy, that's what really connects the heart with the voice. And then when you get that body work done, which you did, Richie, and this is why I love working with people that just like, cool, I'm going to go do the thing. All right, cool. Next minute, Richie's got this message. I got this message from Richie in my phone with him at the massage table. And like, yeah, you know, I got it done, you know.
It's who we are, man. Like, if there's something blocking us, how is this a problem specifically? What is the problem? You know, a problem well stated is a problem half solved, at least, if not fully. And then, cool, what's the solution?
Yeah.
Done. John, you know, you're the same.
Totally. And yet in the jaw clenching piece, so the jaw in particular is a missing link for a lot of people that withhold what they say. It starts in childhood, where you start to clench your teeth, and if you grind your teeth, if you do TMJ, you go to the dentist and you like TMJ, which is like a jaw clicking as well. So there's so much rage in
Yeah.
here, and making sound is really important. And then the next level, if I ever come and do body work on you, Richie, is pushing in on the jaw, letting somebody else do it, and then staring in the eyes of the person, because there can be trauma held in here. And you're feeling this coming.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. There's more there.
There's
I have to
more
come
there.
see you.
It's actually like anchoring myself, using my body and my anchoring for you, because when you start going into these places, terror appears.
Yeah.
And being able to hold someone through their terror with love and compassion and humility gives them free to be themselves in the world. So you can walk into groups, you can walk into rooms, and you feel the space because you just love everyone, because you're not afraid of that terror that you've been holding in your jaw. So, dude,
Beautiful. You're gonna make me cry, John. I know. I feel no exactly
yeah,
what you're talking about. It's getting this in tune with our bodies and being able to recognize, oh, there's something there blocking me energetically, and it's in my body. It's not just like a mindset thing. It's like
can't outthink it. Cannot outthink it.
can't outthink it. You gotta outfeel it.
You do got to outfeel it. And there's maintenance body work, which you can get, which can make you feel good, make you feel free. And then there's like making your personal best body work, which is like going deep into whatever's there, your neck, your arms, your legs, your calves. Guys hold a lot of rage in their calves, and it can, and ticklish as well. So some of the other hands-on body work that I've done, guys that like armor up and do like this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
ticklish. You find the ticklish spots, and then they start laughing and tickling. And sometimes you got to get other people to hold them down just so you can tickle them, and then they cry.
Yes.
So there's like when they've been bullied, or if they've been tickled as a kid, to the point of just numbing out, there can be tickling, can be also another way of getting free of that and freeing up some space in the body to feel the whole frequency of what it means to be human.
So if you're liking this massive testimonial of just honoring and thanking John for being amazing, and you want to get tickled by a man, he's the man. I'm going to come get tickled by you next time I'm in New South Wales. But seriously, having someone, especially a dude, like for a man to have another man hold that space for them and help them get that, because it's like, there can be a thing there where it's it's very powerful to be held and supported by a man that you can trust. Maybe like just our dad didn't do that. My dad, like maybe there was a thing there, or maybe it was the only way to connect by being upset with mum, which is like there's a lot of stuff in there that is deeply healing. So
beautiful. Richie, I've got no more questions for you, bro. Is there any parting words that you'd love to say to someone who's on the fence of potentially working with me, or stuck in their business or something?
Yeah, like I think one of the most powerful things, that whether you're in a job, or especially if you're like in a business, because then you're actually holding the space for others, or if you're in management or anything like that, especially if you're a business owner, having somebody like John to be able to tell them all your nonsense, all the things you're feeling that you'd normally maybe project, or absolutely would project on your partner, your kids, your team, and just life in general, to be able to then like have somebody to reflect back to you, help you get that out of your body, your system. I don't think you could really afford to not have John on your team. Like if you're like, oh, I need to go and make this money first and then I'll hire him, it's like it's like trying to get fit before you go to the gym. It's backwards thinking. It's just like, reach out to him, he'll talk to you, he'll help you, he'll identify exactly what needs to be sorted. And it's probably, I'd say it's almost guaranteed, that when you do that work, your relationship's going to be good. You realize maybe there's nothing even wrong with the relationship, like with your partner or whatever it is. It's just dealing with yourself and trusting yourself and learning how to create that certainty and safety inside. And that is going to change everything in the money department. So, I'd say, I'd put it out there. It's like working with John's actually going to make you money and get you laid and probably have the relationship of your dreams and just have a really good life. So You know, like it's just a no-brainer. What do you reckon, mate? Is that good?
Dude, sex, money, and freedom. Like, what else is there? You know.
Food. I like food. Coffee. You know.
Nah, no coffee for me, bro.
Yeah.
Richie, it's been an absolute pleasure, man, and thank you so much for doing a take 2 of this.
Of course.
And I really appreciate your presence and your willingness to share your heart and just to put me in a good light, bro. Like, just always standing by my side and like, no, John, I want to contribute to you. I want to give this to you. And like, it means a lot to me to have particularly men on walking with me on this journey into building my own kingdom and building up the vision for the world that we both want to see. So yeah, man, real honor.
Hey, John, thank you. And here's the closing. This is the thing. I appreciate that so much. It's when we talked about the strategy session that helped me identify what I needed to sort out and get on with my life and build a better one. You said to me, Rich, I was like, fuck, I need to do this. I need to break up with her and I need to go do what I got to do and build this thing. And you said, Rich, because it was affecting my business growth at the time as well, deeply. You said to me, Rich, whatever comes, I'm with you. You know, I've said that to only a couple of people, you know, like I'm with you for whatever comes. And I was like, got a good one here. All right. Really restored some faith in myself. I was like, yeah, I got me. I'll do it. No other option. So thank you too. Appreciate it, brother. Right back at you.
Receive that, bro. My legs are shaking, man. I'm feeling all that. Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta go do a leg session or something now, man. I gotta go do some exercise. Got the beans now, and get back to it.
All right, bro. Mad love. Thank you.
You too, bro.